Big Mac,
What's going on, man?
man, come on, man. I'm out here living life, baby. I can't. Oh, listen, and you got this. Wait, is that a sun's hat?
What's that? Yeah, it's a Suns hat. Yeah.
Come on, man. You definitely doing it right, baby. How you been?
Yeah, I've been good, man. Welcome back to the show. Richie Evans, one of the best to do it out on the West Coast, Phoenix, Arizona's own. Born in Philly originally. We got back out to Phoenix and highly favored, available on all platforms. Can't knock the hustle. We're going to get into all the being up for the best rap song of the year and performance
Come
and all that
on.
at the Grammys. Congratulations. But man, welcome back to the
Appreciate you.
show. This is your third appearance. How's
Yeah,
everything going, man?
man. Everything is good, man. Definitely had a wonderful year, bro. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I think highly favored kind of did more than what people necessarily thought. You know what I mean? We just been working, man. Highly favored two is in the can. You know what I mean? We about to roll that out. Here going into the new year. So we working, baby. We working.
Yeah. What can we expect from Highly Favored 2? Because I know you want to make this a series.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So it's funny that you say that because I was a real big fan of Fabulous Soul Tape. You know what I
Classics.
mean? I think he did a great series of that, great music, great content. So I kind of based Highly Favored kind of off that kind of simulation. But Highly Favored 2 was dope, man. I got Dave East on the project. I got Vado on the project. There's an artist from the Bay called La Russell.
Okay,
You
yeah,
know what I mean?
independent. Yeah, I know who he is.
Yeah,
He's been on the show.
yeah. He's definitely been out here putting his footprint in his grind down. Who else I got? I got OG Be Legit. Um, who else, man? Me and Ross got another record that we're kind of trying to tighten up right now too. So I definitely got some shit. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's big. And I remember last week I was talking to Victor. You have some
Yeah.
exclusive news here tonight. Do you want to leave that for the end of the interview, or do you want to drop that at the top?
Uh, we'll wait to the end. You know
We'll
what I
wait for the
mean?
end. Yeah, because then the people they
Yeah,
might turn out. You never know. If you like good interviews, you will not turn out. You got to turn out for all those other
absolutely,
interviews.
absolutely,
But man, I was
absolutely.
because you mentioned 2024 being an important year, but I remember reading early on that you called 2024 your Kobe year. Why is this year
Yeah.
your Kobe year?
The reason why I say that, man, was this was the year that everything was based on me, and I feel that it was like a coming out party for me. You know what I mean? I mean, people who know me through the years, you know what I mean. They know, me and Games relationship. You know what I mean? Even per se, you know what I'm saying, having a real business and personable relationship with Ross. But I feel this year was based just on me, my brand, my vision, and where I was trying to go. And I think that we really put up a lot of points. You know what I mean? I think that we really shocked a lot of people. Especially one of the few artists to come out from Arizona. Like, they was like, damn, man, they really got somebody sitting on the main stage. It was definitely just a dope run. And then top it off with the whole Grammy nom. I just think that, man, a lot of things really was in my favor, and people was really respecting the work and taking it serious.
When did you find out about the Grammy nomination?
I found out yesterday, actually.
Wow, so you just broke that.
Yeah, and it's crazy because, man, it's something to me that I'm still trying to get an understanding of even how that shit works. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I mean, I understand there's like, a recording academy, and they vote on, I think it's like 200, records or artists, and they kind of dwindle it down to seven. But again, man, just to know that I was even considered or even in that conversation, you know what I mean, speaks a lot of volumes. You know what I mean? To what we got going on, man. I'm very humbled. I'm very appreciative. I hope that I do make it to the top seven. You know what I mean, or top five, whatever how they do it. But just to be even put in that particular classification, man, is big.
That is big. Congratulations on that.
Thank you,
And
sir.
because I mean, this has been a while to where you and Rick Ross were cool with each other. I did hear about the hotel
Yeah,
story. We'll talk about that. But how long have you known
yeah.
Ross prior to kind of just getting cool before the hotel story?
Like I said early, man, like, I've always known Ross in passing. You know what I mean? It was always a respect. We always had mutual people around, but it was just, it was probably maybe what, 4 years?
Mm.
Four would always see him in passing. It was always love, respect. But like I said, when we had the hotel conversation, things kind of started changing. After we end up doing the record, man, of course, he, definitely was like, man, you're more than welcome to come anywhere I'm at, vibe with me, do what we got to do. So we definitely, man, went along for the ride just to kind of build relationship network. I also wanted him to kind of look at my business acumen to know that, like, nah, like I'm really one of them ones out here. You know what I mean?
Mm.
If I can get a little bit of guidance and a little bit of support from you from a business standpoint and musical standpoint, I think that I can turn my company to AT&T. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And like I said, that's kind of basically what it's been, man. He's definitely been a big mentor musically and professionally and business, and the relationship is only growing and getting stronger, and will continue to.
Yeah, that hotel story was big and you guys got close. That you were staying at the same one at the time and then you
Yes,
just kind
sir.
of linked up for it.
Yeah, yeah, man. Like I said, we was at the hotel in LA when I was working on Highly Favored One, and like I said, man, it was just a lot of respect to sit down with him and have a drink and really just get to talking about my vision, my viewpoint, my music. I played him the Can't Knock the Hustle record, and he instantly rocked with it. Like I said, he got it back to me like within 48 hours, man, and then it was off to the races from there. So, shout out to Raw, shout out to the rest of the MMG family. You know what I mean? Shout out to my man Nino Breeze too. I know he got a record right now called Type of Nigga that's really pushing the airwaves, and he's really getting his lift off. So shout out to the boy Nino Breeze, and shout out to everybody over there at MMG.
Mm. Fire. And I know Ross has always wanted to sign a West Coast artist to his label because he was going to
Right,
sign Nipsey back in the day.
right.
So could this be perhaps maybe something lining up in the future here for you to be the West Coast artist on MMG?
It's crazy that you say that because every time I sit and have a conversation with Ross, that's always been my approach. You know what I
Mm.
mean? I feel like from the West Coast standpoint, you know what I mean? I think that I'm probably one of the closest on his radar to that Nipsey
Mm.
vibe for him. Like I said, there's a lot of variables, but definitely that's kind of my stake in where I'm trying to take it going into 2020 25. You know
Oh,
what I
I
mean?
like that. Claim it, man. It's going to happen. It'll happen. Just keep
Absolutely,
working towards it.
for sure.
Yeah, and some that was great because I do want to get into the first highly favorite because we did an interview
For sure.
prior to that release. So a couple questions on the album, which I know your
Right.
relationship with Game and the Black Wall Street and his manager at the time with the indictment and that
Yeah.
story because we've kind of talked about that before, but I didn't realize that the game there was a situation there you kind of mentioned shelving you a little bit that he or something. I kind of wanted you to get into that
Yeah.
situation, but it wasn't personal. It was something that he had to do at the time.
Yeah, 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 absolutely.
Mhm.
I say this all the time, man, to anybody. Know, Game is my mentor, my
Yeah,
big brother who gave me my introduction to this particular industry. You know what I mean? He's truly, my Dr. Dre in my eyes. You know what I mean? Like I said, I was there to, be with him to create the Doctor's Advocate and do, some other things and things like that. He definitely taught me and showed me what it was like to create timeless music. You know, no matter what you say about Game, you know what I mean, his personal life or some of his, business endeavors and everything that's out there to the world. One thing that dude is he's a dope rapper and he makes quality music. You know
yeah.
what I mean? And that's one thing that I will always give him the utmost respect because he definitely um helped me and showed me how to create classic music. He also stamped me so hard and gave me a respect of belief to Los Angeles. You got to keep in
Mm.
mind, I'm from Phoenix. You know what I'm saying? So when I, flew out to LA and I moved in with Game and, he really stamped me and gave me the valuable resources, the connects and people around to build, you know what I mean, to make some things happen in a city and state that I'm not even from. So, I will always give my respect and love to Game, no matter what people say or what people may think. He will always be the Dr. Dre in my eyes to me.
Mhm. And he's someone that really held it down for the West Coast for years. Do you feel
Sure.
as though he doesn't get enough love as he should? Because I feel as though, I mean, people like to say the antics and all that stuff. And I remember we talked about the Eminem track last
Yeah.
time, but
Yeah.
I feel as though he doesn't get the love that is deserved because he's a great lyricist. He's
Agreed.
always dropping quality albums. I don't know about 10. I did hear 10 this year. I wasn't pleased with that, but his album with Big Hit was pretty good. But
Right.
do you feel as though he's not getting enough love out here that he should be?
Um, Here's the thing. People tend to forget that, Game will always be all right because he has something that a lot of people don't have, and that's he has a classic album up under his belt.
Documentary.
His name, his yeah, the documentary will synonymously be aligned to Illmatic, Reasonable Doubt, The Chronic, Doggy Style, the Port of Miami. You know what I'm saying? 36 Chambers. Raekwon. You know what I mean? The Purple Tape. Like he has something in his chamber that not too many people in this lifetime can hang their hat on. So people first gotta respect that. Secondly, I think that he gets his respect to a degree. As I've always said, I think a lot of out industry antics kind of overshadow that.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? But I think that that still doesn't diminish the fact that dude is a monster rapper and he does create quality music. You know what I mean, for the fans and people that listen to top tier music
He does. Yeah, he's one of the top lyricists out there, no
for
doubt about it.
sure.
Documentary 2 was a great album when he dropped that. Doctor's Advocate. There's times where I say Doctor's Advocate is
He's
better
better.
than the documentary.
Hey, listen, I say that all the time, not
Yeah.
because I was a part of that, not because I was a part of that, but um I think that to follow up with the Doctor's Advocate off of an album that's classic that was produced by Dr. Dre,
Mhm.
you know what I mean, and to rival that and to be neck and neck, it definitely to me is something personal, you know what I mean, and something dope that like, hey, even without Dre on that particular record, brother, you know what I mean, you still delivered a high key classic album that will also be hung up in the rafters too. So, shout out to the documentary and also shout out to the Doctor's Advocate.
Yeah, shout out to those 2 albums, classics. Can't Knock the Hustle. Was this kind of with the title and acknowledgement and paying homage to Jay-Z's Can't Knock the Hustle with Reasonable Doubt?
It's crazy because my initial blueprint and game plan was I wanted to remake that record.
Ooh.
Like that was the thought. But then, certain records are so timeless, man, that I think that you gotta kind of, weigh it out. Like no matter how dope I would have done the record, I feel like, Jay put that record in such an atmosphere that it can never be touched. You know what I mean? So, respectfully, of course, you know what I mean, I garnished the name, you know what I mean, and used it, but I also put it into a fabric and put it into a vibe that I feel that, the younger demographic and people of my particular realm could respect and vibe and appreciate. And I also think that this record is timeless too. So, definitely think that we made something classic as well.
I agree. And obviously the fans see it. It's up for Grammy nomination. So,
Come on, man. Come on.
yeah.
Hey, hey, salute to the Recording Academy for that, man. Like I said, the kid coming from Phoenix, man, making his waves and shout out to Ross. But that's definitely something major for me.
Mhm. I wanted to get into this Quit Playing record.
Yeah,
What's going on with this record, man? Because we know what's going on with these women out here. They love playing games with
man.
superstars. I
It,
mean,
it
get into this story.
the quit playing, truthfully speaking, that record became a monster on its own.
Mm,
You know what I mean? I think that the fans and like the people end up pressing that kind of to the forefront after we end up dropping Can Not the Hustle, for sure. Also the record Pressure featuring J Rock.
yeah,
You know
that's
what I
another
mean,
one.
from TDE. But nah, quit playing definitely was something that I needed in my arsenal just to kind of, cater to these women. You know what I'm saying? I think sometimes these women be playing games with men who do grown man shit, you know what I mean? So sometimes one of us had to step to the plate, let them, let them know. Like, hey, quit playing, you know?
You gotta let them know. But
Come on.
because you say in the song that you're gonna be their man. So you even after all their games, you still willing to take them on?
Well, see, that's the thing. You know what I mean? I got to keep it all the way honest. You know what I mean? I'm a grown man and there's certain games I'm not playing. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? And I just feel like, what I mean, you gotta realistically be open and honest to that particular standpoint. Don't let me, don't let it fool you. You know what I mean? I am a grown man, I take care of business. But if a woman really wants to get next to Richie, man, and hold it down, there is a certain type of obligation and a certain type of obedience that I do need to make that work. You feel me? So hey, all you women out there, quit playing.
Oh, and there are a lot of them playing games, and you know what? People who play games get hurt.
For real though. Hey, say it again. Fuck around with the wrong one and get hurt. Come on.
Fire off the shots, get the shots off.
Come on.
Unbelievable. Highly favored, available on all platforms. We got the second one on the way.
Yes.
The first one, I wanted
Yeah.
to touch on Eastside K Boy. What's your relationship with him? Because he's deep. He's got a lot of respect in LA. Shout out to
Oh
Eastside
no,
K
no,
Boy.
absolutely. You know what I mean? K Boy is my guy. Actually, K Boy is an A&R on Highly Favored too.
Wow.
Yeah, you know what I mean? K Boy, you know what I'm saying? He's definitely a person that I value his music, I value his vision, and he definitely has the industry above ear, you know what I mean, to make high grade quality music. Actually, he was the reason how me and Dave East even connected. You know
Wow.
what I mean? Like I said, I got a record on Highly Favored 2 called Lord of the Rings, featuring me, Dave East, and Vado. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And Eastside K Boy was the one who put that together to make sure that that came to light. He's definitely been a LA staple. You know what I mean? He's definitely been a brother, a comrade. You know what I mean? But he's definitely been somebody that's rooting everything that I got going on and been a super supportive brother through this whole process. So shout out to
Mm.
my man Eastside K Boy for real,
Shout out to K-Boy, man. He's a real one in the game, no doubt about
for
it.
real.
What is it about the Phoenix scene? Do you guys feel like you're finally taking off a little bit? I know Merkham's out there. I know a
Yeah,
couple
yeah, yeah.
artists out there. Do you feel as though that you guys are really starting to gain some momentum here? And why is it kind of taking this so long?
I think right now, you know what I'm saying. Myself, Merkham's, my man Willie North Pole is back in rotation doing his thing. Shout out my man Judge, my man Jay Waves. Um, who else, man? My man Daily Finesse, my man Dan G. Who else, man? Shoot. My man Dame Daniels, you know what I mean? Like, I think at the end of the day, man, I've always said Phoenix had the talent. I just felt that we didn't have the infrastructure.
Mm,
And I think that with a lot of things that's kind of going around, i.e., the NFL, the Cardinals, Kyler Murray brings a lot of attention. Of course, Devin Booker, Kevin Durant for the Suns, they bring a lot of attention. You know what I mean? The Super Bowl was here. Um, what else we got going on, man? Just a lot of things I think has helped catapult the I don't want to say scenery, but the visibility, you know what I mean, of artists such as myself and a lot of the other ones that I just named to give us a real chance on a national level to be heard. You know what I mean? I think that we definitely can compete music wise with anybody else out in the world. Like I said, I just think that we're just starting to get some national visibility and it's starting to all reciprocate, you know what I mean? Because people are starting to really.
yeah. And you also have the roots to Philly. Have you thought about doing some work with some of the artists out there in Philly,
For
legends, and
sure.
of course newer artists? I mean, Meek Mill, you got the connection there with Rick Ross, so I'm sure
Yeah,
that'll
yeah.
happen eventually.
Yeah, yeah, and I met, like I said, I met Meek a couple times. Me and him spoke. Um, we definitely got a couple things going on within the works right now. I definitely want to do some stuff with Jill Scott. You know what I
Mm,
mean? Even Floetry. You know what I'm saying?
okay.
Marsha Ambrosius. She's not too far away from, connecting the dot too. So there are definitely a couple things that I am going to end up doing. Getting into the highly favorite 2 and 3 things up in my pipeline while I'm solidifying the foundation and doing what I got to do.
Big time. No, I know you're going to be on your way. You already got the Harlem connection now with Dave East because we talked about that record. And before we really close out, I want to close out the Dave East record. How was that
Yeah.
studio session with him?
It's crazy because I was in LA. I was in LA, Eastside K Boy was there, and I want to say Dave was supposed to be there on a Friday, but something held him up. So I cut the record, FaceTime Vado. I FaceTime Vado ASAP because Dave ended up being delayed. And I was like, Vado, let me send this, over to you, you know what I mean, to knock this out. Dave, I think it was Dave's plane or something, something from New York happened, but Vado sent it back ASAP. I had to end up flying out to do a show. Dave ended up landing. He got into the studio with Mike and Keys. He was over there with All Money In. I think Black Sam was there. You know what I'm saying? A couple other people from All Money In. But I got the phone call. He was like, "Hey, check your email." You know what I mean? It's coming right back to you. So once he sent it to me, man, and I heard it's like all three together, I was like, man, this shit is a monster. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
like a
And
Reservoir Dogs.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Just straight going. And necessarily I think that it was a record that I needed in my repertoire just for people to understand, yeah, I may quit playing in 4Us and can't knock the hustle, but I'm still a rapper to heart. You know what I mean? And I spar, bar to bar with some of the biggest artists out. J Rocks and your Kendricks and your Dave East and your Vado. So we definitely came up with a dope record called Lord of the Rings. And like I said, I mean, it's definitely will be on Highly Favored too.
Highly favored too. I remember there was this campaign. I remember we were messaging back and forth. You had a campaign starting in June. What was the campaign for?
No, no. So when we was talking, I was letting you know that the campaign for Highly Favored 2 was coming.
Okay.
That's what it was. So I kind of was hitting you up like, hey, I'm getting everything ready right now. I'm kind of priming up. So even right now, man, we starting the interviews this month. You know what I mean? I want to say the billboards are starting to go up. I think we're going to release one of the street singles here within the next 3 to 4 weeks, going into November. I got some pop-ups, for the holidays, gonna do some giveaways and do a lot of charity work. And then if I'm not mistaken, I want to say Highly Favored 2 was slated for January 10th, 2025.
Ooh, start
Yeah.
the new year off right.
From the top of the key, baby. No dribble. I'm going straight to the bucket with it. You know what I mean? No
Yeah, man.
dribble.
And speaking of straight to the bucket, how you feeling about the Suns? 'Cause I remember last time we talked, Katie was looking at buying houses. I remember you saw him
Well,
down there in Phoenix.
I remember I said that on your show,
Yeah,
and now look, he's here.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Um, the Suns is great, man. Like hopefully this year is our year. You know what I mean? I think that Devin Booker definitely is a premier star. Kevin Durant, premier star, Bradley Beal, you know what I mean, premier star. We did end up getting a couple other bench players to kind of help um give us the ammunition that we need off the bench. But I think this year's the really tell all be all year. You know what I mean? I think that we have to get to a certain level in the playoffs this year, or if it don't work, I think that the team is going to start breaking up next year. And I don't think that's in a negative way. I think that maybe KD's probably going to do another year or two and retire. I think Devin Booker at this particular point, I think that it's not even going to be about the money with him no more. I think he's eventually probably going to be like, hey, I got to go get some hardware. I think Devin's been in the league for what, like maybe like 8 years now,
yeah. It's been a while
something.
now.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm sure that some decisions will have to be made. But I will say, if we're going to do it, this year's the year to do it. I think that we got everything that we need. They just got to put the pieces to the puzzle together and execute.
Mhm. Yeah, what are your thoughts? Because I'm a Knicks fan, you're a big basketball guy. What are your thoughts on the Knicks trade with Karl Anthony Towns?
I got to be honest. It's a dope trade, but you guys look so phenomenal last year, though, brother.
Yeah, I
Like y'all
know.
look, and I was like, if y'all get Randall back, y'all really may be like. But let's not. Hey, Cat is not a slouch. Cat is not a slouch. You know what I mean? I think that he's definitely going to do what's needed to be done. I think it is a great trade for you guys. I just hope that the chemistry is the same with him as it was last year for you guys, because you guys look phenomenal last year.
Yeah, they did. And I know we lost DiVincenzo. He's another bench piece. You noticed
Yeah,
him fighting with the team last night as they
yeah, I seen it.
to the Knicks in preseason, which is crazy. But someone with that energy, it's like I don't even want you back on the team. Like I get he's angry, he has every right to
Yeah,
be, but it's just like, man, it's too much.
but listen, you guys got Michael Bridges. He's
Yeah,
a bucket. He's a
yeah,
bucket. He's a bucket. So I mean, you definitely got some pieces. I do think that you guys will be in for the running of the Eastern Conference Finals next year for
yeah,
sure.
I think so too. Yeah, they got to hold off the Sixers. I know the Sixers, a lot of Sixers though, it's just big names and they've gotten older. So it's, I mean,
Yeah,
Paul George doesn't scare me anymore. This isn't,
yeah, yeah, yeah. You're right.
yeah,
You're right. Truthfully, I'm not really not trying to sound crazy. I'm not really too much concerned about the Sixers. I do believe that Boston is still going to be a problem for you
yeah, they're
guys,
still,
though.
yeah, because of the defending champs. Yeah.
Yeah. So but definitely going to be a good year for basketball, football, and music. So whenever I drop Highly Favored 2, I make sure I circle back and tap in with you, and we can figure it out.
Yeah, no, absolutely. We'll get you back on. What's next with the Evans administration? Because I feel as though you're really tapping into business things. I did want to talk to you because you got the Bel Air stuff. Shout out to Bel Air. Shout out to Brett Barish and
Yeah,
Matt Flynn, everyone at Bel Air and
man.
Sovereign
I
Brands.
seen
So I,
you. I seen you interviewed Brett.
yeah,
He's a monster, bro. He's a
yeah, he
tycoon.
is. Shout out to Brett. So are you in business with them at all? Or are you kind of helping them out? Because you got the connection there with Ross too, and
Yes.
the bottles in the music video.
Yeah, yeah,
So are you?
absolutely, man. Shout out to my man Brett. Shout out to my man Matty Ice. I definitely got to get Matty on here too
Yeah,
for you. You know what I mean? I got to connect you guys to do it. But no, Brett, Bel Air always just make sure I'm solid. You know what I mean? Whenever I'm out in the spotlight and doing what I do, I make sure I got the finest champagne, and they always, deliver that. Um, of course, they got Vion, they got Bumbu. You know what I mean? They got other alcohol that's in
the
their
Deacon.
repertoire. Say that again.
They got the Deacon on there.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. The Deacon. Yeah. So they definitely got a lot of things that we rocking with for sure. But shout out to Brett, shout out to Rose. Like I said, shout out to the MMG family, shout out to my man Matty Ice, my man Trop Da Vinci, and everybody out there. But to circle back to the Evans administration, yeah, man. I'm like I said, I'm gonna do Highly Favorite 2, Highly Favorite 3. I'm gonna do probably 2 solo albums. Right now, I do got a couple artists lined up in the pipeline that we're gonna release in 2025 as well. You know what I mean? I got
Mm.
my man Brad Bucks, I got my man Jay Waves, Daily Finesse, and my man Dame Daniels. This whole last couple months, man, we all been quietly locked into the studio, man, rolling out the music to make sure that when it's time to go, we go and don't let up. You know what I mean? I do eventually want to fall back into an executive position, you know what I mean, to help market and help, try to build as many top artists as we can to give them some platforms and ability to do what they need to do. So even outside of, like I said, of me just having a personable and business relationship with Ross is definitely something that I'm close to his hip about, of building an empire and doing my thing too for TEA.
That's big. No, it's gonna happen. Everything that you're working towards is definitely gonna come to fruition. When do you kind of how do you split it up? Because you mentioned you want to fall back as more of an executive in the business. So how do
Yeah.
you work? How do you go about that as far as when you're feeling motivated to write music? Do you look at it more from a business standpoint and versus how you really love making music? It's more coming from the
So
love of it.
so it's crazy that you say that because
Mhm.
that's the thing. Like right now, man, like my passion and my energy for music is so therapeutic. It's something
Mhm.
I love to do. Like I can do this until I die. You know what I mean? But also, you know what I mean, you got to be realistically in tune with yourself and to the times of music. You know what I mean? I'm not the oldest cat in the world, but I'm not the youngest either. You know what I mean? And there's certain things as an artist that I'm just not, tapped in with. Like I said, I'm not out here gang gang double clip bang bang doing all, the old me used to be that, you know what I mean? But now, like I said, man, a little bit more mature, you know what I mean? Moving in a different type of space. My conversations now are with Brett Barish and Ross and you know Gamma execs and Sony music execs and you know what I'm saying. Elite podcasters like yourself. My
I
my
appreciate that.
conversation, my conversation in business is different than what it used to be. So, like I said, man, just creating top tier music and trying to put new artists in the best positions possible to do the same for them and kind of see how it go.
Yeah, and that's how you have to move. Same with the women, same with these artists too. You quit playing.
Quit playing. You feel me? Quit playing. Quit
Oh,
playing.
that's what it has to be, man. I'm telling you. And I see you doing a lot behind the scenes. I mean, with these artists. Now, with these artists, where are they from? The Phoenix, Arizona? Are they from Arizona? Or are you more around the country?
So like I said, one thing that I'm big on is really giving a platform and opportunity for some artists from the city that I'm from.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? I feel like being in the position that I'm in and being a forefront leader like that, I feel it's only right to do so. You know what I mean? One of my biggest, motivations is, you know, trying to crack off the city as big as it can be, you know what I mean? And provide a lot of business opportunities and music opportunities that I can while I'm in the position that I'm in. But secondly, though, ultimately, yeah, there is other artists in different, different states and different countries that I'm networking and building with. Outside of me even building my own hub and fan base and relationships in these different markets, I'm even also, like I said, man, trying to find the next generation in these spots to help mature and breed up as well to be monsters too. So, yeah.
Do you feel as though there that because I mean, look how fast this year blew by. Do you feel as though that we're getting too much music? Because I feel as though when we look at the releases, it's too much. You can't even digest at this point.
So, you know what? Like I always get this conversation is always an argument with me and somebody because I believe the same thing.
Yeah.
I'm not Mr. I mean, you can even tell by my release from Highly Favored One. You know what I mean? Like I like to take time and really try to push every potential record to its maximum uh potential that I can, you know what I mean, before just dropping another record. You know what I mean? Also, like I said, I love to come back and do, these particular type of interviews from grassroots to high levels, you know what I mean, to really try to connect and build directly with the support, you know what I mean, and fans and fam that really, what I mean, appreciate what type of music and vibe that I'm bringing. But I got to be honest with you, Max. I've always been a person to feel like people are just dropping too much music too fast. I feel like people are dropping music without a plan. I think people are dropping music without a theme. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? I think people is just, because the tools and the ability is there to do so, people are just doing it. And I'm not saying that's wrong, you know what I'm saying? Or I'm not saying it's right either. You know what I mean? But will say for me, you know what I mean, everything that we do is strategic. You know what I mean? I'm into the quality over quantity more than anything else. You know what I mean? And um I know that artist development is a lost cause right now at this particular point, but I also feel that if you take some of these young artists and keep them around, and like I said, bring them in these particular sessions and put them with people who really make top tier quality music, it will rub off. Again, I like to align myself with the game. He makes quality music. I align myself with a Ross. He makes quality tier music. You know what I mean? Dave East makes quality tier music. J Rock, quality tier music. So I just try to surround myself with the business execs and artists that can thrive my need and my itch, but even also that can provide top tier quality music that could sustain the test of time.
Yeah,
You
no,
know?
I agree. And it's all with all forms of entertainment because even with podcasts now, everyone and their mom has a podcast. It's crazy. It's we're getting too much out here
Right.
now. And it was, and I agree with you on the album standpoint too, because that's how classics were released. They didn't release classics constantly. It was like you'd get like a year and a two in between. When we look at
Right.
Nas, Illmatic came out and what was it, 94, and then you got It Was Written in 96. It was a 2 year
Right.
gap in between.
Right. No, 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 definitely. And also I think that, like, people need to go through things in their life. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like for me, I'm a artist and a person who writes off experience, things that I've been through, things that I've seen, things that I'm feeling. You know what I mean? Different types of emotions. You know what I mean? And usually your first album is the one that fully goes into it, but then you got to take some time to move around and catch some other types of things to kind of deliver for the second. So, I'm definitely big on time, but I'm also, like I said, big on quality music, and I'd rather do quality than quantity over anything.
Yeah, and it sustains because you look at a lot of these artists are just trends, and then once the trend is gone, they're lost without a paddle. When you look at it,
Facts.
you want to be around for the long game, and you've been around for the long game, and you're going to
Yes, sir.
continue to be. It's just too much cloud chasing now. Like I said, and I know there's some people that disagree with me. I said take away Instagram and social media. We're gonna see who's
Right.
really real out here because you're gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep going.
Facts.
Social
Facts.
media isn't holding us back. Yeah, it's utilized and it's helpful, but you take it away, we're still gonna be out here grinding.
No, facts. It's wild that you say that because I had a conversation the other day where I was like, I come from an era where, you really had to showcase your skill set.
Yes.
Like there wasn't, we wasn't pushing grandmas out in front of grocery carts, or doing the Kardashian trend or whatever the fuck is going on in the world right now. You feel me? Like you really had to, in order for you to gain your respect, in order for people, like I said, a Ross or a Game or somebody of that high magnitude to even give you a look or give you a shot, you had to come with some of that shit. You know what I mean? And I got to be honest. You know what I mean? I'm very humble hearted to the T, but I pop my shit because I really rub shoulders with the ones. You feel me? But
Yeah.
I'm also kicking that shit though. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? But I'm
just
also
like Alpha
kicking that
Highly
shit.
Favored. You got the song on there. You got to talk your
Right.
shit.
I be low key popping my shit, but it's just not to knock nobody else, man. I know there's a lot of podcasters and a lot of other artists who do things as far as clout chase or do
Absolutely.
do these different types of things to gain they attention. Like if that's what you do, that's what you do. I mean, of course, the industry is growing from that. But for me, man, like I said, I just come from the era where you really had to have that shit. It's not on you, it's in you. You feel me?
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah, it's crazy, but that's what we're living in. I think a lot of it has to do too with the whole, because this is a lot of what my generation coming up is everyone gets a trophy. The losers get a trophy, and that's why a lot
right,
of the
right,
losers and mediocrity now everyone thinks they're stars in their head because they have an audience on Instagram. They got
right,
more followers than Jesus. Jesus only had 12 disciples, whatever.
right.
So it's like now they think that like there's some kind of star in their head, and they think they're on the same level as people like us. And
Yeah.
sorry, you're not. And because you got that trophy doesn't mean you're special.
Absolutely. But listen, I say it all the time, man. You know what I mean? The definition in tune comes from the work. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like I said, I don't want anything that I'm not deserving to, but I'm also willing to put the work in to get it, no matter how you slice the cake. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? So
There's this is a perfect quote, and I said it once the other day. I saw it in person recently. Everyone wants the view from the top of the mountain, but very few want to do the climb.
Man, listen, I said all the time, everybody want to eat, but everybody want to eat, but not too many want to go get the groceries.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So I'm with you on that.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. It's unbelievable. But you had this exclusive that you wanted to drop on the show here today. What's this important news that you want to break? I heard that there was an artist that was in town. You went and linked up. What happened here? What's this breaking news from Richie Evans?
Well, no. I just, everything that I do is a highlight real low key. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
But no, it's just for me, man. I just been locked in doing my thing. Like I said, man, we got Dave East on the project. You know what I mean? We got Vado on the project. Um, Be Legit on the project. You know what I mean? Definitely. I gotta keep it. I gotta keep it a buck, man. I'm pushing for this one record. I'm pushing for this one record. It's a little bit critical, man, because me and my bro, we definitely got a solid relationship, but also his status and his stardom is so tough that I'm feeling like, man, I don't know if it's gonna work within the time, but I'm definitely trying to get Kendrick on the
Ooh,
project. You know what I mean? Like I said, he's had a monster year. Everybody know my affiliation and my family ties with TDE. You know what I mean? I definitely put the request in, shot the email over, shot the text. It was like, Dot, I know you busy, you know what I mean? I know you bigger than life right now, but I'm definitely following that trend. I think it's time for the world to hear that Richie Evans and K Dot record. I really want the Black Hippie feature first.
ooh.
All of it. I want Rock, you know what I mean? I want Dot, you know what I mean? I want Ab and I want School. There was a time back in the day where all of us did a record called That Nigga. It was me, J Rock, Kendrick, and Ab. Q actually, I think, got too high that day and like passed out or something. But I'm definitely in the process and works trying to make that happen. Hopefully I can get it done in time. If not, you know what I mean? I will say before my career time is up, the shit will come to fruition. I stand on
Yeah.
that.
That's big. You got the exclusive right here. We got some big things in the works. Kendrick, yeah, it's definitely been a monster year. And yeah, it's that I don't know. Can Drake come back to the US? I mean, I heard that he was selling some homes, followed a bunch of people from here. It looks like he's taking
Yeah.
things back to just Canada.
It's crazy, man. Like that's a totally unfortunate situation because I think Drake is dope. Don't get me
Yeah.
wrong, it's West Coast on mine. I'm riding with my dog all day. You know what I mean? But I think Drake is dope. I think that he's definitely, one of the top tier MCs, you know what I'm saying, in entertainers, you know what I'm saying, in this field. But I just think bro ran into a monster. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? He ran
Yeah.
into a monster, and people don't want to say it, but I think it kind of hurt Buddy. I think it kind of hurt his career a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it definitely did. You see people, there's a lot of people clowning him now. And
Yeah,
I think a lot of it too is like people like to go a game for the antics. Give me a break. The antics that Drake has, I mean,
right.
Sexy Red and the things, the accents, the crazy stuff that he does, it's
Yeah,
got a lot more that people could criticize, and you see it
yeah,
affects his career. Like I haven't been a fan of Drake's music in a while. I think he's good. It's just disappointing for someone that was a Drake fan coming up when he was first going out there with the So Far Gones and the Thank Me Laters,
right,
Take
right, right, right.
Cares. And then it's just like you're doing all this trendy music, mainstream, popular, and it just has gotten worse over time for me.
Yeah,
That's just not the music that I thought he would be making 10 years from now. Because usually you're supposed to evolve as an artist and get better. Like you said it, you gotten wiser with age. That's how it's supposed to
absolutely.
be. He's sounding like a kid on these records. He should be sounding like a Jadakiss right now. How
Yeah,
Jadakiss is sounding.
yeah. But look at it like this. Like I said, I don't want to totally shit on bro's wave, but like I said, maybe he got that youth where he can continue to do that. Some of us,
Yeah.
some of us can't. It's not something that I want to do. Like, do I want to make records that can attach and connect to the younger demographic? Absolutely, but I'm not going to do no corny shit or go out my way to chase clout to do it, though.
Yeah, no, that's something that you're not going to do. You're real. You stick to your guns and your craft, and this is
Yep,
why you're going this far. And
man,
you're making the moves.
man. You already know what it is, Max. I always appreciate you, baby, for real.
You already know, man. Richie Evans, man. Is there anything else you would love to let the fans know that we didn't touch on here tonight?
Man, I just want to say, man, everybody who's been following me, man, I appreciate y'all. Make sure y'all tap in with me on Instagram. That's at Who Is Richie. Make sure, man, you get that, Grammy nominated work, Can't Knock the Hustle and the highly favored EP that's out right now on all DSPs. Um, Highly favored 2 coming soon. TEA's the click, the Evans administration is the label. And shout out to everybody who's riding with me. You know what it is, man. I do grown man shit to the T. Fuck with me.
Yeah, quit playing games.
Quit playing. Quit playing.
But you know what? I did actually do it. I just thought of some more questions for you because I remember
Yeah,
hearing about your
yeah.
father being in the military. Was there a time that you thought about being in the military, or that was completely out of the question?
I want to say when I was young, it definitely was a thought process because that was kind of all I knew at that point.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? But like I said, when I started kind of maturing a little bit and start, broadening my horizons and really, having the opportunity to move around the world a little bit, I seen that there was just more out for me. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I was willing to roll the dice every single time, and just for the simple fact that I was just always a believer. You know what I mean? And I just always wanted more. So, shout out to the armed forces because I'm definitely a big supporter of that. But I'm also a big supporter in, you know, me. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember hearing about the Tech Nine story. You got a lot of legendary stories. What's the most iconic piece of material that you've been a part of as far as like a studio session? What's one of those top stories that you think you haven't revealed?
um Studio session. The most iconic I got two. The first one wasn't even a session, man. It was just basic. Well, damn, I really, man. I'll make them short. The first, I got three. The first one was when I signed with Game. He asked me who my top three artists were. You know what I mean? I told him Nas, Ice Cube, and Ross
Mhm.
at that time. You know what I mean? And I remember he had a studio session and Ice Cube and Dub C walked through the door, and I was like, oh shit.
Wow.
You know what I mean? And then what's crazy was, you know what I mean? For Ice Cube to say my name and give me dap and like, man, I know who you is. And that was like a big monumental kind of like, damn, like I'm here type situation. You know what I mean? So I want to say that one for sure. I want to say the second one is when I met Justin Timberlake. It's
Mm,
crazy, right?
that's interesting.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I was in a studio session with Game and Pharrell. And people don't know, Game was, I forgot what album it was on that Pharrell executive produced, but we was in the studio and Pharrell was making a beat and we're all vibing and chopping it up. And he had this record that had a reference on it. And I was walking out the studio to get a drink and I ran into Justin Timberlake, like literally ran into him. I was like, oh shit, my bad. And he was like, what's up? I was like, what's up, Jay? He said, we're Game Man. I was like, oh, he in there. So he walk in there, I come back in there, and I remember, man, Game was like, yo, Pharrell, like if there's a person who can get Justin on this record, it's you. Man, literally, like right then and there, man, Justin took a shot of vodka and he walked in the studio, bro, knocked that hook out in like 15 minutes and was like really, really who he say he was. Like I remember at that time, people was like, can he really sing? Is he dope? Is he, bro? I seen it for my 2 eyes. Bro went in there, handled his business, and knocked that shit out. You know what I mean? So I gotta say that. And then the closing was when I met Nas.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Nas was, like I said, that's one of my favorite artists. He's, he's one of the ones who helped sculpture my musical era presence. But I had a moment to really rock with him and meet him, man, and it was just a monumental moment. So I will say I have done some things within my little short, tenure in this industry, and I'm definitely just trying to maintain and keep it going, man. That's it.
I mean, you're someone I can have a conversation with as far as lyricism because I've been really looking at it lately. Like we solidify our top fives just in them. It seems like it's just like we automatically put it in as it's like Biggie, Tupac, Nas,
Right.
Jay Z. Then people throw Eminem at five. But there's so many art DMX, Busta
Yeah, 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 yeah,
Rhymes.
yeah.
There's so many that you got to throw in.
Scarface,
Yeah,
Scarface, yeah.
yeah. And
You
it's like we got to really look at and it's kind of hard for me to even put like a Drake or anyone that's up there of the newer generation in the top 10 because there's so many beasts that people don't talk about.
for sure.
like a KRS-One and a
Yeah,
Rakim. It's like, can you really
yeah.
put because those are the pioneers too. So it's like, can you put like a Drake in a top 10 over them, even though as big as Drake is, you know?
Truthfully, I now, yes. So like even whenever I do my top five, like I won't put a Biggie in there. I won't put a Pac in there.
Because you
You
think they're
know,
just off on their own. They're
yeah, even
already they're
you
out
know,
of the league. Yeah.
yeah, even somewhat of a Jay. I don't even put Jay in there either because I think Jay is just escalated to a certain extent. Even though Nas has too, but he had such an influence on my career, I would always have to put him first.
Yeah.
You know, for me, because like I said, him and Ice Cube were kind of one of the reasons why I even wanted to start rapping. But then, like I said, you start getting into DMX and Scarface and Game and T.I. and Ross and, other people that I feel who make high quality music, you know what I mean, has helped kind of sculpture, you know what I mean, some of the, the vibration that I pump. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I was even thinking of like Cool G Rap. When I really go
Man,
down the listed line of these
AZ,
guys,
yeah,
yeah. Yeah, a big pun. When you start really
man.
going deep into the lyrical discography of hip hop, you're like, yeah, I don't know if Drake gets up there and some of these newer guys. It's
I
tough.
mean, it's tough, but like I said, we gotta put it from a timing base. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You gotta put Drake in there. You gotta put Wayne in there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You gotta put Drake in there. You gotta put Wayne in there. You know what I mean? Who else that's kind of been consistent with the great music? Somebody asked me the other day. I was like, man, I don't know. Somebody was like, do you think that Ti has a stronger catalog than Wayne? No, keep in mind, all around catalog. I'm like, Ti does have a great body of work.
He does.
You know what I mean? He may not have the lollipop singles and blah blah blah, but he's had some monsters too. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah, he's got the hits there. He's got
Yeah,
those classics, those street classics too.
yeah. The 24s and the shit with Rihanna, Justin
Oh,
Timberlake, the King, you know what I mean? Like, no, he definitely got some shit.
yeah. And Richie Evans does too.
Absolutely. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Quit playing with him.
Quick playing. Yeah, that's for everyone out there. Oh man. Shout out to Victor. Richie Evans. I want to thank you for coming on the show again. You know, you've been building with me since the beginning, since
Yes,
my
sir.
days at St. John's. And we're
Yes,
gonna
sir.
keep building, man. I'm gonna be getting out to the West Coast. I want to relocate very
Mm-mm.
soon.
Come
It's it,
on.
yeah. We're
Come
gonna be
on.
doing some things, man. We're gonna be linking up.
Man, come on. You already know what it is, though, Max. Like I said, whenever you come out west, definitely hit me. Let me know. I'll roll out the red carpet and let you know how we get down out here. Um, I am supposed to be out east pretty soon. Like I said, we're going to be shooting the video with me, Dave, Vivado. So when I get towards your area, I'll definitely link up, man. Even if it's just for a drink or a little bit of time to connect. You know what I mean? Personally, I'll make sure we definitely do that.
Oh, I'm down for that, man. Yeah, just let me know. We'll link up. Any support that you need. I'm going to be supporting Highly Favored too. I'm looking
Appreciate you.
forward to these upcoming records that you got. You're a true MC in the game, and you love the
Appreciate
you love the genre, man. You're
you.
someone that
Facts.
really respects the art form, and I respect that. It's refreshing when I listen to your album, man, because I
Yeah.
know we're just in an era now where that's just not respected by the mainstream, and I get it. I get it, but I don't get it at the same time. Like this is
Yeah.
hip hop. When you listen to your
Yeah.
music, this is hip hop.
Yeah, man. And listen, and let me say this before I go too, is just like, hey, you know, I am an artist and a true MC to the fullest,
Mhm.
and don't get it wrong. Like I said, I don't not mainstream. The goal is to be respected in this industry, but also to sell records. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? One of my passions and one of my top tier goals is I do want to sell, 1 million records. Like I want to go platinum and be able to hang that type of body of work on my wall. So, but I'm also trying to find a fine lane to, you know, keep the lane that I need to talk that talk that I talk, but as well as connect with these other people that I can get it to sell 1 million records. So, hey, everybody who's tuned in, make sure you download that Highly Favored, that Can't Knock the Hustle, and make sure you guys stay on the lookout for Highly Favored 2 dropping January 2025. You know what it is, man. Your man Richie Evans. I'm here.
You already know. Richie Evans. Until the next time, man, we'll be in touch. We'll keep building. Salute for everything. And like you
Yep.
said, man, we'll be in touch again.
My man Max. Appreciate you, baby.
You already know who is Richie. Make sure you tap in with him on Instagram and X. Make sure you go give him a follow.
My man.
You already know. Peace out, man.
Love.
Love.